think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
Pilot? What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV?
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick TV shows is they make one show. That show's called a pilot. Then they show that one show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get chosen and become television programs. Some don't, become nothing. She starred in one of the ones that became nothing.
They aren't nothing anymore. They are so unbelievable, so outrageous, so bizarre, we just had to show them to you. Sitcoms, cop shows, sci-fi, horror, and some concepts that simply defy description. And stars in the roles that didn't make them famous. All this and more in the best TV shows that never were. Okay, how many times have you watched TV and wondered, how did this get on the air?
Man, you've been watching too much TV.
Well, the amazing thing is, for every show that sells, there's like 100 that don't get past their pilot episode. Like these cop shows. In NYPD Blue, Dennis Franz has faced alcoholism, police corruption, drug abuse, and racism.
I gotta transfer out of this division.
But on NYPD Mounted, his biggest challenge was just staying on his horse.
I can't even ride.
All right, giddy up, Steve.
Dennis couldn't stay in the saddle. Now you're going to see two cops who wouldn't get out of their chairs. In Bunko, future action superstars Tom Selleck and Robert Urich do absolutely nothing. This show was so dull, all they did was sit around, play tic-tac-toe, and indulge in idle chit-chat.
You know, this is what I always wanted to be. I wanted to be a banker when I was a kid.
The hell you did? You wanted to be a Zeppelin pilot.
No, a banker's much better. Foreclosing mortgages, twirling a mustache at all the pretty girls. I've come for the rent, my dear.
Oh, I'm convinced.
Ooh, now that's action. The show was boring, but that's not why the network passed. No. They didn't think either of these guys could carry a series. So who did they think was an action star? Well, country singer John Denver, of course. He's a tough FBI agent with a bad attitude.
I've got the perfect attitude, pal.
And a handy guitar. In Higher Ground, he doesn't take any guff from criminal scum.
Everybody's gonna be accountable, and that includes you, pal.
When he sees crime, he gets Rocky Mountain mad.
Are you telling me everything?
Not quite. He also likes to break into song. When he isn't breaking arms.
Apologize. I apologize.
Don't call him a country boy, or else.
Don't make this any worse than it is, pal.
Do you get bored watching one show at a time? Well, don't flip channels. Daytona Beach flips itself. It's count 'em, 4 shows in one. It's a cop show.
Bust anyone who thinks that spring break is an excuse to break the law.
It's a family show.
All right, let's eat.
It's a lifeguard show. It's a car racing show. How is that possible? Well, Gavin Travers is a lifeguard who's also a cop, who's also a race car driver, who's dating an Air Force test pilot who wants to be an astronaut.
Oh, boy. I'd give anything to pilot the shuttle.
She's the only girl in Daytona Beach who wants to be a space cadet. The rest, just want to be swimsuit models. I don't have a problem with that. Do you? This pilot was from the producers of Baywatch, but they just couldn't capture lightning in a bikini twice. Peter Boyle is a tough, ill-mannered cop who is run down in the line of duty. But that's not the end of his story. No. He's reincarnated.
Ha! Surprise!
As a streetwise bulldog in Puchinsky.
What are you going to do now?
Well, first I'm going to try licking myself, and then I'm going to catch my killer.
The talking dog teams up with his astonished former partner to put the bite on crime. It's touching.
Look at me. I've become a dog. It's all sinking in now.
It's poignant.
But it's life. It's precious life.
It's unforgettable.
You're a dog.
I'm a cop. This is ridiculous.
You think that's ridiculous? We haven't even started yet. In K-9000, a maverick cop accidentally gets a microchip implanted in his ear. Now he can hear the thoughts of his canine partner.
You're the only one who can hear me.
Because the dog's got a supercomputer installed in his head.
Well, yeah.
They also installed something else.
What the hell's that?
I'm getting you an outside line.
You're amazing.
No, just cellular.
That's right. The dog is a cell phone. Can you believe they made this? Probably because it was from the guy who wrote Die Hard, but that's no excuse. Robots come in all shapes and sizes, but they do have one thing in common. They make lousy TV stars. Maybe that's why these shows didn't make it.
Good evening.
In the Quester tapes, a corporation builds an android from incomplete blueprints written by an alien being. It could happen. The android gives himself a face. And Burt Reynolds' hair then teams up with MASH's Mike Farrell on a quest to help humanity.
Each of us has his own life instructions.
And his are to figure out how to get it on.
We will observe humans mating here.
Just don't ask him to participate, or else.
My fusion furnace will overload, Jerry. I will become a nuclear bomb.
What?
I will become a nuclear bomb.
That's what I thought you said. He's not the only robot who's fascinated by sex. In Condor, even Babebot cops like this one want to observe humans mating.
I have no information on how you might hold a woman or how you might kiss her and how she would respond.
Ooh, baby. It's the distant future of 1999. Everyone has a computer in their car. Radios project holograms, and this Babebot is teamed up with this human guy to fight crime. But all she's really interested in is sex.
You mean all you see me for is my mind?
Of course not. He's a guy. Who cares if she's a robot? She's a babe.
Oh, man.
In Steel Justice, Detective David Nash is a cop with a big gun. When his son is killed, the boy is reincarnated as a toy robot dragon.
That weird enough for you?
Yup.
He moves around the place. He busts through doors when he wants. He chews up other toys for fun.
Now, whenever Dad's in trouble, his son, you know, the toy robot, becomes a giant fire-breathing monster. Do you get that?
Sorry, I just can't understand any of this.
Well, don't worry. Nobody else did either, which is why this pilot never became a series. In Annihilator, Richard's girlfriend comes back from vacation a little different. When she said she was taking the red-eye, she wasn't kidding.
You're not Angela.
Swift, isn't he? Everybody on her flight was replaced by evil alien robots. That's what happens when you fly coach. Now he has to stop the aliens from taking over the world, hunting the robots down one by one.
Where did you come from? What happened to the people you replaced?
You have to hand it to them. They are well armed. Yeah! Scott Bakula is a wacky scientist working on a transporter beam. He's got the hots for the sultry scientist in the lab next door. He beams himself into her lab.
Beam me up, Scotty.
and accidentally merges with a military satellite she's building in Infiltrator.
What's happening to me?
Now, he's half man, half robot. He's got infrared sight, X-ray vision, and mechanical limbs.
I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Me neither, but it gets worse. When he's pissed off, he hulks out into a laser-firing GoBot. Look at that stupid thing.
How can you joke about this?
How can you not? Still to come on the best TV shows that never were. Robert Goulet.
Is the slime infesting our streets expecting me?
Ryan Stiles.
I want to be every woman's fantasy.
Ron Howard.
I'm a director.
And Satan. Welcome back to the best TV shows that never were.
Really? You're gonna laugh.
The biggest joke in these sitcom pilots was that anybody ever thought they could become weekly series.
This station is plunging to its death.
Ever since The Odd Couple, networks have been searching for shows about perfectly mismatched roommates. And what could be more mismatched than a Manhattan photographer and a 1,200-pound pachyderm?
Why couldn't a dog follow me home?
In Ethel is an Elephant.
Hello? Yeah, I'm the guy with the elephant.
The sitcom would have chronicled the wacky hijinks of man and beast as they lived together in the Big Apple, relying on each other to make it in a complicated world.
If you don't take chances, you never know how good it feels to hug an elephant.
200 years into the future, Ryan Stiles and Kelly Hu are U.S. Customs agents in the sci-fi sitcom LAX 2194. Stiles is a bumbling, insensitive robot.
How could you be so heartless?
Oh, sure. Call me heartless just because I'm half organism, half machine, and don't actually have a heart.
What is that accent he's doing?
I got the big essential fluids, Pumpy. I want to be every woman's fantasy.
And in spite of the vast technological advances, some things never changed.
You know, we can transform matter, bring back the dead. We can even fly at 17,000 miles per hour. You'd think somebody would invent a vending machine that wouldn't want to make you do this.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
In Red Dwarf, regular guy Craig Bierko gets lost in space.
How long have I been in stasis, Howie?
Really? You're gonna laugh.
How long?
Just under 3 million years.
My baseball cards must be worth a fortune.
And that's the best joke in the show. For company, he's got Jane Leaves as a malfunctioning computer who really enjoys a keystroke.
Actually, that one felt kind of good.
What happens when a man is left alone in space for too long?
In the interest of good taste, I'll skip the part between 1 and 2 a.m.
Together, they wander through the galaxy.
I gotta try to get us back home.
Dave. We've been accelerating away from Earth for 3 million years.
Yeah, but maybe there's a shortcut.
Even 3 million years in the future, men won't stop and ask for directions.
I can't watch this anymore.
In Channel 99, Mary Lou Henner takes over a Midwestern TV station with an unusual lineup.
Bowling for eggs. Shine your shoes with Mike. Cowboy Phil's Rock Gut Theater. What kinds of shows are these?
She wants to spice things up.
Are you insane, woman?
Actually, she is.
I was biting people.
She was just released from a mental hospital.
It wasn't a mental hospital. It was more like a spa.
Hey, what's Ron Howard doing here? Maybe it's because he produced this thing.
How many of you remember that darling little boy who played Opie on the Andy Griffith Show? Well, he's here with us today. Well, not Andy Griffith. Boy, that really would have been something.
And maybe then they would have picked up this pilot.
This station is plunging to its death.
In acting sheriff, Broadway superstar Robert Goulet is Brent McCord.
He's great.
He's got a square jaw, steely blue eyes.
Broad shoulders and less body fat than a king cobra.
He's a washed-up movie star who becomes a small-town sheriff.
His slogan was, he's honest, he's fair, that's all his own hair.
He's eager to play cop for real.
Is the slime infesting our streets expecting me? And I'll be on you like a buzzard on a meatloaf. You tell me where you have that money, or you'll be doing sit-ups with the devil.
Still not laughing? Wait, there's more.
What's the problem? We forget to serve cappuccino during strip search? The ACLU won't be happy till every jail has hot tubs and topless masseuses.
Those network suits never gave the show a chance. They picked up another season of Jake and the Fat Man instead.
What am I gonna do?
After tackling racism, bigotry, and abortion in shows like All in the Family and Maude, producer Norman Lear was ready to redefine the TV sitcom once again.
Wow! Looks like a nice day. I woke up this morning. I guess it was the usual time. I don't know for sure. I can't tell time. I'm a dog.
In A Dog's Life, actors in dog suits barked one-liners at each other.
Iris! Iris! Iris!
And commented on society, relationships, and politics from a canine perspective.
You see, my tail is wagging and my ears are up. That always means I'm very happy.
Do we really care about a dog's perspective on anything?
Your lips told me no. But there was yes in your tail.
Just what I wanted to know about the sex life of a dog.
That's just what I want, another son. That'll give me 82.
I know. You had 10 of them with me.
People in dog suits. What were they thinking?
I made myself a promise a long time ago that when the end came, I was going to lie down in bed and face death with dignity.
Not gonna happen now. The only thing better than a good laugh is a good scream. We'll leave it up to you to decide which reaction these Unsold pilots deserve.
I don't believe in the boogeyman. That will change.
We all remember the Omen movies and the evil child who becomes the Antichrist.
Clear, Jules. Clear. Clear.
But in the Omen, the series, the Antichrist is no longer a child. No, he's a stream of demonic vomit. That's right, vomit. Jumping from one person to another. Turning them into sweaty zombies.
It's him!
I'm gonna devour you like I did your wife and baby.
Now the good guys have to save the world from the devil's puke.
You've no idea what you're letting yourself in for.
In Good Against Evil, Andy is in love with a perfect girl. There's just one problem.
I'm bad news. Don't you understand? I'm bad for any man.
How bad?
Your Jessica has been chosen to bear the child of Astaroth.
Who's Astaroth? The devil, baby. A suave dude who wears nice threads, drinks fine wine, and tools around in limousines and private jets. And Andy and the Exorcist are the only ones with the guts to go against him.
It's a hell of a thing to say.
That's pretty close to the truth.
So that means lots of screeching cats, broken windows, and exorcisms, and more exorcisms. Does this sound like a show you'd watch every week?
I suppose you think that's funny.
I do, but this was supposed to be a drama. Psycho is one of the scariest movies ever made. Forever linking the Bates Motel with relentless terror, bloody showers, and cross-dressing killer Norman Bates. But for TV, that had to change.
I think this place cries out for a little more fun in the sun.
Oh yeah, that's what I want in a horror show. Norman died and left the place to a lunatic he met in the nut house. And now the Bates Motel is a lovely place to stay.
You really do have a very special place here.
I know.
The scariest thing about the Bates Motel now is the decor. Even a special appearance from psycho killer Norman isn't scary anymore.
Good night, old friend. If you ever need a room, come on by. Can't say for sure what you'll find, but that is what makes the world go round.
Staying at the Bates Motel won't scare you, but a night at the Whispering Pines can be truly terrifying because it's run by a lawyer. A dead lawyer who was run over by a bus full of nuns.
Was I upset? How can I be dead, I said, when I never really lived?
And when he says check out is 11, he means it. He's on a dark mission to dole out spiritual payback in Just Desserts. Like the slick womanizer who preys on lonely women.
Hey, thanks, babe.
Hey, wait a minute. What about me?
B minus, C plus.
He gets what he deserves when he wakes up and finds he's now a woman himself. The world's ugliest woman.
You never know what's going to happen.
Television doesn't get much scarier than this. Next up, beer-swilling Viking gods.
I need to drink.
Genetically altered super babes.
What I like is more physical.
And William Shatner as you've never seen him before.
Hey, can I look your horse over for you?
In the best TV shows that never were. Welcome back to the best TV shows that never were. Unsold pilots that never became weekly TV series.
Well, your priorities are shifting, darling. We're training you to be a superhero.
These superheroes had an array of amazing powers.
I don't see it all.
We have the right and the might!
Except one, the ability to stay on the air past their pilot episode. In Daredevil, Matt Murdock is a high-powered attorney with a passion for justice.
Choice!
Blind justice.
Where the hell is she?
He becomes a superhero who covers his eyes. Not to hide his identity, but to let people know he's blind so they'll be really impressed by his super abilities.
I don't see it all.
Oh, stop bragging. He uses his heightened senses to get the best of bad guys.
This knife hurts my ears.
He lets nothing stand in his way. Not even a quarter-inch of plaster can stop him. But a network could. Alienated teens with special powers. A special school for kids just like them.
That's right, darling. We're mutants.
Teaching them how to save the world.
Well, your priorities are shifting, darling. We're training you to be a superhero.
You might think that Generation X was just a copy of the X-Men.
I think that was a terse and irresponsible judgment, don't you?
This pilot was based on a different Marvel comic and was made long before the hit X-Men movie. Unfortunately, the network didn't think anyone wanted to watch a bunch of mopey teens battling supervillains. Good call. Hey look, it's Scott Bakula again.
I'm a cab driver, that's all.
Before Quantum Leap finally made him a star, he was the hardest working guy in TV. This time, he's a taxi driver who is accidentally exposed to space gas, whatever that is. The gas turns him into I-Man, the indestructible superhero. He's not faster than a speeding bullet. He's not more powerful than a locomotive. And he can't leap tall buildings in a single bound. So what's his superpower? He can heal really fast. Yup, that's it. No x-ray vision, no nothing. He just gets better. What kind of superpower is that?
But it still hurts.
Dr. Donald Blake discovers an ancient hammer that summons up the mighty Thor, a Viking god who now needs a place to crash.
That shower bath is a miracle.
So he moves in and together they fight crime. Of course. Thor may be tough on the bad guys.
We have the right and the might!
But he's never too busy for a brew.
I need to drink.
Or 2, or 3. This is one superhero who's always hammered. Sci-fi inspires a profound sense of wonder.
That's the truth. The only truth.
And these shows certainly do.
I can't take it.
You'll be wondering how they ever got made.
But think of the possibilities.
Francis Ford Coppola, Oscar-winning director of The Godfather, produced this sensitive sci-fi drama about a schoolteacher who moves to a remote farming community, meets a backwoods country doctor played by William Shatner.
Hey, can I look your horse over for you? Check him for gout or something?
And discovers there is something odd about the people. They aren't just the fashion-conscious hipsters they first appear to be. They can float in trees. They can make her float in trees.
I can't take it.
They are Amish aliens from another planet who just want their own little house on the prairie.
Flying kids on television.
But think of the possibilities.
Amish aliens. Now how could that miss? What could be more adorable than a boy and his troll? In a troubled teen befriends a troubled troll. Or maybe not a troll, but a possum. Or a rat. No, it's a possum. Or something. Together they watch TV. They bond.
Fuzzbucket love Mikey.
They sing and dance. They bond. They dress up in costumes. And they bond some more.
I love you too, Fuzzbucket. Make me blush.
Who needs action or even a story when there's so much darn love?
Fuzzbucket love you, but got to go.
Ick. Would you touch that thing?
I smell blood.
Imagine the Terminator with the body of a Playboy playmate, and you've got the Chameleon, a genetically engineered super babe.
What I like is more physical.
Her sunglasses are the only thing she doesn't like to take off. Her motto, kill it or sleep with it. Or both.
That's the truth. The only truth.
The network made 2 more of these pilots, but still wasn't convinced they wanted to get into bed with this Terminatrix. An evil corporation decides to create another genetically engineered super babe, but somehow just didn't get it quite right. And they got Wishman instead. A scientist sneaks the beast home to his wife, Terminator's Linda Hamilton. God knows why.
You've turned our lives upside down without even asking me.
They want to kill him and take him apart.
And if my dog looked like that, I'd shoot it. Look at that stupid thing. So the scientist, his wife, and their hideous thing go on the run. Good riddance. Now sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip. The weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. Sound familiar? But this time, instead of Gilligan, it's a brain surgeon and his family who wash up on an uncharted isle. Right smack in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. Hey, wait, that's the kid from Seventh Heaven. Anyway, you'll never guess what happens next.
Trust me, you don't want to know.
The kid discovers a lost underground city. Cool. But do they explore it? No. But they do discover a village of other castaways. A millionaire and his wife, a movie star. Oh, no, wait, that's the other show. The better show. But did Gilligan ever hang out with psychic dolphins who taught him water ballet? I don't think so.
Excuse me if I'm boring you.
You're excused.
This is the most critical period in Earth's history. The planet I'm from wants to help Earth survive.
In Assignment Earth, a proposed spin-off from Star Trek, Robert Lansing starred as Gary Seven, a human being raised by aliens and sent back to Earth to protect us from ourselves.
Purpose of mission? To prevent Earth civilization from destroying itself before it can mature into a peaceful society.
The smooth alien spy was armed with an array of fancy gadgets. A super cool office.
Computer on.
Computer on.
And a mysterious cat with the awesome power to become a Playboy centerfold. Seven was aided in his mission by a ditzy Earthling, played by Terry Garr.
Captain, we could say that Mr. Seven and Miss Lincoln have some interesting experiences in store for them.
While Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock may have seen a bright future for Assignment Earth, the network didn't, because it was a spin-off from Star Trek, a show they were canceling. And we all know what a bright move that was. Coming up when the best TV shows that never were returns.
Frank, what's the matter?
Is that my name?
The world's most amazing crime fighters.
Yeah, I'm after a murderer.
You don't need a badge to fight crime, just a gimmick.
Everybody loves magic, you all do.
This is more complex than that.
The gimmicks weren't strong enough to get these unusual crime fighters on the air. We all know the legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes, but in this pilot, they took an entirely new approach. Tarzan moves to the most dangerous jungle of them all. In Tarzan in Manhattan, he meets a taxi driver named Jane.
My name is Jane Porter. I'm 26 years old, single. Closest relationship I ever had lasted 2 months. I'm always the one who calls it off. I have a master's in computer science from NYU, and my father thinks I'm wasting my life driving a cab. So, who in the world are you?
I'm Tarzan of the Apes.
Of course he is. He's wearing a loincloth. Tarzan and Cheetah decide to hang around in the Big Apple and become private eyes. No, seriously, private eyes. Joe Penny is Samurai, a district attorney by day and sword-wielding samurai warrior by night. He doesn't wear a mask, and yet nobody recognizes him. Maybe they're too distracted by his piercing screams. Bad teeth, black jammies, and astonishing martial arts. Look at those moves. Watch out, Jackie Chan.
This is more complex than that.
That's right. He also baffles his enemies by using his sword for everything except as a sword. And he also makes a mean fruit salad. When democracy is in danger, the U.S. government calls on their most secret agent. Well, maybe not that secret. Mandrake the Magician. He's not just a spy, he's a Tahoe lounge act. And that frisbee around his neck isn't just for style. It's a magic medallion he uses to fight crime.
Everybody loves magic, you all do.
And if you don't, you're in trouble. Look at those amazing special effects. He always wraps up the situation in time for the second show. Frank Monahan is a suave super spy who gets captured by the bad guys, who erase his memory.
Frank, what's the matter?
Is that my name?
But the news isn't all bad.
Still tell the difference between a female rabbit and a light bulb.
Lucky for the rabbit. Thanks to cutting-edge technology, Frank can download into his brain awesome amounts of data.
We put 16 megabytes of technical data on those tapes.
Armed with a skull full of new knowledge and the computing power of a digital watch, he becomes the ultimate imposter.
I can actually speak Chinese.
and he's ready for action.
Oh, you stared straight at me.
When the case is really big, you want a detective who's really, small? You want Nick Derringer, P.I.
I'm after a murderer.
He's a master of disguise.
I'll give you $5 for that.
And a fiend with his fists. You know, as long as they just lay there and take it.
You're lucky they stopped me, Ernie.
He's not just a fighter, he's a lover.
I am overtly suggesting a sexual get-together. Have you ever had a man stand behind you and kiss you on the back of the knees?
Oh, who hasn't? There's only one word to describe this show.
Bizarre?
Yep, that's the one. Coming up, Keanu Reeves.
But I'm drawing a line right now, and nobody crosses it.
Stockard Channing.
Don't lecture me. I'm not a law student.
And a different side of Marg Helgenberger.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Unlike everything else we've seen, here are some pilots that should have become series.
Yeah. Yeah.
These were really good. Sometimes you have the right stars and the right idea at the wrong time. 5 years before CSI, Marg Helgenberger and Gary Dourdan starred in Keys. She played a chopper-flying pathologist. He was her Rasta-dude ex-con mechanic.
Man, you've been watching too much TV.
Like CSI, it had an exotic locale. Grisly crime scenes. Rubber gloves. Bodies and bones. And flashlights. Lots and lots of flashlights.
What else are we going to discover?
Unlike CSI, not all the hard bodies were dead.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
So why didn't it work?
You got me.
But I'm drawing a line right now, and nobody crosses it.
Believe it or not, before The Matrix, the network actually had the chance to do a series with Keanu Reeves. It was called Brotherhood of Justice.
When we hit somebody, we do it as the Brotherhood.
It was a high school show full of teen angst.
It's easy for you to get into Harvard. You're captain of the football team. You've never had to work.
But who cares what the show was about? They had Keanu Reeves. They had him cheap.
This made so much sense in the beginning.
Doesn't make any sense right now, does it?
Nothing does.
And they let him get away.
We may be blowing a major opportunity here.
You got that right, Keanu. The only thing worse than being lost in space for 3 million years is being stuck in LA traffic. Yup, that's Craig Bierko again, with Touched by an Angel's John Dye, as two Midwestern guys who come to LA and meet Courtney Thorne-Smith in a traffic jam.
Wow.
The three of them immediately become just good friends.
We have a winner.
You're probably wondering what the heck else do I need to know about these guys?
They're aspiring journalists who both fall in love with Courtney, an aspiring photographer. And they end up having all kinds of wacky adventures.
It sounds like fun. A single girl living with two guys who really look like they can handle themselves in bed.
Yes, it does. But this series just wasn't meant to be.
This is all either of us have ever wanted. How can it not happen?
Luckily, it did for all three of them. Just not together and not in this show. Shaft songwriter Isaac Hayes is an ex-con with an anger management problem.
I ain't gonna take that kind of lip off some Beverly Hills hunky, so I let fly. Guy acts up, he gets to hold his teeth on the way to the hospital.
He wants to make a career change.
You really want to be a PI?
Yeah, why not?
Academy Award winner Lou Gossett Jr. is a slick PI. He doesn't need a partner.
Unless he's qualified, educated, and neat, I wouldn't consider him.
I don't like him.
But they team up anyway.
You're gonna give me a job, Gabby. Or your teeth is gonna be accounts receivable.
Welcome to the fam.
Now they're Gabby and Gandy.
Gabby and Gandy. Sounds like a puppet show.
They're two funky, badass PIs who really know how to jive.
When we jam, I'm gonna take out my eye and I'm gonna roof the sucker. Him and me is better than 3 grams of nose.
Okay, I have no idea what he just said, but it sure sounds cool. This was the best of 3 unsold spin-offs from the Rockford Files, but it still wasn't good enough.
Usually I'm into more cerebral enterprises.
The West Wing's Stockard Channing plays tough great.
Don't lecture me. I'm not a law student.
In The Prosecutor, she was stuck in a wheelchair, but she still kicked ass.
What the hell are you talking about?
And was a lot of fun to watch doing it.
At present, the angle of that ramp has me exiting the building at approximately 70 miles an hour.
Mostly because she was so politically incorrect.
Bastards, they always put it right over my desk.
Which may be why it didn't sell.
Objection.
But one thing is certain.
I did a great job.
You sure did. That's Monty Python's Graham Chapman, who is actually going to write and star in Jake's Journey, the story of a boy who's hurled into a medieval fantasy world.
What am I doing here?
People on quests don't ask questions like that.
What did you do that for? Ow!
Good question.
He embarks on a hilarious quest with a brave knight to rescue an enchanting princess, fighting everything from evil witches to rude ogres to talking lobsters.
May we be of some help?
Lobsters.
Don't be so prejudiced.
It was pure Monty Python. In fact, that's what killed it. The network didn't think Americans would get the British humor. The twits.
Good lad, well done.
Thank you.
As long as they keep making TV shows, there will always be lost treasures, undiscovered stars, forgotten concepts, and broken dreams.
Off you go. You can do it.
Yeah. There will always be the best TV shows that never were.
You know.
This time they're flying. Jurassic Park 3 is next on ABC.
The Rams battle the Chiefs next Monday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC.
Rodney's the kind of guy who won't let life get in the way of living.
Why'd you quit a perfectly good job at the fiberglass plant?
I didn't. I quit a big crappy job at the fiberglass plant.
Rodney premieres Tuesday, September 21st, only on ABC.